also have a moment to potentially take a pause and see exactly how this uncertainty is playing out. The good news is that markets are showing that they're really quite liquid, so we're not in an emergency situation. But I do think they want to be a little careful about not over tightening and potentially unintentionally throwing us into something that goes from slower growth to recession.
The 10-year yield has recovered a bit, but earlier overnight it was down as low as 1.668%. I mean, that's kind of stunning. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the 10-year is pointing out, and I think I heard an earlier person talk about this, the shape of the yield curve is important here. And the question that's on everyone's minds is exactly that. How do they balance the need to get inflation under control and get that soft landing, avoiding tipping into recession? I think the 10-year is sort of saying, be careful, don't want to go too fast, don't want to go too hard, because, as you know, an inverted yield curve might be signaling that markets are concerned the Fed's going to have to unwind. That's why I think slow, steady, and having a moment to pause if need be, just to take bearings in this very, very unusual time.
Roger, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate the time you've spent with us the last few weeks, especially when things get so volatile. It's good to see you.
Thanks. Happy to come on again whenever necessary. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you. As we're winding things up here, let's take a last look at the futures. We started this morning with the Dow down by more than 500 points. Right now, it's only down by about 140 points. S&P futures off by 14, the NASDAQ down by 50. That does it for us today.
Good job,
Joe and I will be right back here tomorrow.
Good job, down 140.
Yeah, we'll take that as a win right now. We'll see you tomorrow. Right now, it's time for Squawk on the Street.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Dave Faber, Morgan Brennan. Jim Cramer has the morning off. Day 12 of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Futures are up the morning raise as the German Chancellor knocks down the possibility of a ban on Russian energy, and the market looks for some potential off-ramps as a third round of talks begin. Significance with the energy shock. Oil has pulled back 20-year
Good morning, traders. What's up and what's going on? Happy Money Monday. We are back, ready to attack this awesome day. My bad, Trader Girl Beth. I completely spaced that CNBC was on, so I guess I pretty much just ruined the introduction. So if you guys want, we'll take a quick vote. Do you guys want me to go ahead and rerun the intro? Because I can rerun the intro. I can make it happen, right? Let's get hyped up. Let's get fired up. And if you guys are ready to go, you are fired and hyped up, then I am fired and hyped up, ready to hit it hard today. Team, yes, finally. I put it on the wall. Hey, good job, Josh. He finally put his picture on the wall. It's pretty nice. I dropped the TV down. I made it happen. You liked it in the background? We got the Alpha logo. We got the blue lights accent. We got the bear and the bull up on the wall. Woo! I made it happen finally. You guys, every single day, get it off the ground. Hang it. Catherine, every day, hang the DAMN picture. Just hang the thing. And I'm like, I don't know where to hang it. Finally, I made it happen. We hung it. So again, you guys can lay off a little bit. Quit giving me a hard time. All right? No, I'm joking, guys. But again, good morning. Happy Money Monday. I'm fired up to be here. It is March 7th. This is our second week of March, our full week of March. And let's make it an amazing week, guys. I mean, last week we absolutely crushed it, didn't we not? I mean, it was a slow start Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, we absolutely destroyed the market. I mean, big time profits inside of Profits Chat. You guys are coming in strong. You guys are applying that knowledge. You guys are just really rocking and rolling. So good job, good work. I am proud of each and every one of you. Just keep it up, right? Just because we're locking in great profits doesn't mean it's time to get aggressive and get wild and crazy. Continue to do what you guys have been doing, right? Come into the market in the mornings, get prepared. Eliminate the noise. Identify the best stocks that have the best opportunity. Build your plans. Sit back, relax, be calm, cool, collected. Just make sure you have that plan in place. Make sure you're prepared. Take advantage of these opportunities. Lock in those profits. We're not here to be greedy. We're not here to FOMO in the trades. We're here to sit back, be disciplined, be patient with a capital P-A-Y, and just doing what we did last week is going to continue to pay off this week, next week, the month of March, April, May, June, July, until the end of the year, and moving forward for the rest of our trading career. So just do what you guys did last week. Take the best of the best setups, have a plan, cut your losses quick. We saw a lot of that in chat, $20 losses, $50 losses, but those winners, $2, $3, $4, $500 winners. So you guys are cutting those losses quick, taking your paper cut, getting out of those losing trades, and if it sets back up, you guys can jump right back in to lock in those profits. So just do what you've been doing, especially last week. You guys are impressing me. You guys are just absolutely on fire. Keep that momentum carried on into this week and keep locking in those profits. And let's make this week an even better week, and let's lock in some big time profits, guys. There's a lot of opportunity in the market. There's a lot to talk about. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and dive in to it. So again, what do we know what's going on right now in the market? Oil, gas, energy, ripping and running, just ripping and running, guys. Again, some of the stocks that we had last week are going to be our top gainers or top watches for today. So we all know that INDO just ripping and running over the past couple of weeks. I mean, look at Friday's move. This stock was around 25, 30 bucks, hit highs of $50 freaking dollars on Friday, hitting highs of $57.99 here in pre-market. INDO is where every single penny stock trader is currently at. This stock is ripping, the stock is running, great volume, nice low float stock. Right now at this point in time, we know why it's moving, right? There's a couple reasons, right? It's a prior day mover, it's all momentum, tons of volume, tons of activity, and tons of attention from traders. But again, we do have oil shooting on up, oil, gas, the energy sector just ripping and running. So we have a lot of stocks making some big time moves, and a lot of stocks that were not even on watch last week. But to keep it simple, we know why the stock is moving. That entire sector is just absolutely just ripping and running right now. And this is also a prior day mover. So add those two together. INDO is one of the top stocks we will be watching today, guys. Okay, INDO is one of my top stocks I will be watching today. So I had this slight little uptrend drawn on INDO. I really didn't know if it was going to be all that validated, but it is being validated, right? We just cracked below the trend line. We just retested it as resistance. Right now, we are technically on the bearish side of this trend line. Now, we do have that pre-market gap to be filled all the way down to like 38.30. Now, the stock is moving on its own, just so you guys know. This stock is doing its own thing. It's not really like correlating like the SPY and UVXY, right? It's not correlating like that. You know, the SPY starts dropping, UVXY starts ripping. The charts look identical. So it's not like INDO, INPP, CEI are going to correlate exactly to what like oil's doing and stuff like that. They're going to move on their own, right? They're going to have their own charts. We're going to be able to look at these as individual stocks and not really have to look at anything else to back it up. Obviously, as long as oil and gas and the energy sector is holding strong, that means INDO can still move on up and hold strong as well. But if we start to see that sector dump on off, yes, INDO is going to start dumping on off. But I just wanted to make that clear. It's not like we have to go look at USO to trade INDO, right? We don't have to do that. This stock is going to pretty much do its own thing. So as long as, you know, oil, gas, energy, they hold on up and just we don't see that sector in some of these ETFs roll on over and dump on off, we still have a lot of great potential on INDO. So we do have that slight gap from post-market to pre-market, right? So we closed at like 38.64, and post-market, nice gap up, nice big squeeze to 57.99. That's going to be a decent little level of support back down there towards around like 38.64. But I would actually say you can bring that support level lower. And I would say 37.55 is even better, right? It was a bounce level there on Friday. It was a post-market level, turned back into support. So I would say that 37.55 is going to be one of the better levels of support on INDO. If we start cracking below that level, you'll probably see it pull back all the way down towards around like 31.70. So right now, there's not a lot to go off of. Like out of the gate, washout long strategies, gap and go strategies. There's really not a lot to go off of as far as a like a fresh trade right when the market opens. But again, it is definitely a top stock we should keep on watch. And we know that this stock sets up consistently. The breaks are clean, the moves are clean, the technicals are always honored and validated. This has been a pretty simple stock to trade. So as long as it holds on up, as long as the price action is kind of like how it's been the last couple of weeks and the technicals are honored and validated, INDO, we know it will set up for an opportunity, and we can absolutely look to take advantage of INDO. Be the same thing with INPP, right? INPP, Imperial Petroleum, this stock has been doing well over the past couple of weeks as well. Nice big move there on Friday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday even, right? All of last week, we could not break that $2.50 to $3 zone. There was just tons of resistance, but we finally got that break, that big time move. End of day Friday, we had a nice close up towards around 338, nice move to 426, nice big push this morning in pre-market up to 588. So right now, support on IMPP is going to be back down towards around that post-market high of 426. And we can see that we already came down and bounced, trying to put in a double bottom. So if this stock hits that level of support for the third time, watch for this level to crack on down. Watch for the stock to crack on down below its level of support if we do not see this higher low reversal in the next probably 5 to 10 minutes before the market opens. So if we do open up, we come back down in support for the third time, there is a strong likelihood that we see this crack and move just a little bit lower. We do have support back down towards around $4 on IMPP. And then simply looking at that daily chart, it's going to be back down at 343 is going to be the next best level of support coming off those prior highs. Now that's going to be one of Friday's spiking high, and that's going to be the spiking high from January 28th all the way back down at 345. So now we have 431 support, but again, we're looking like we could absolutely start to see this crack and move lower to 4. We crack below 4 down to 345. Now we do have potential back up to $5 and even back up towards around like the 570s to 588s to retest that pre-market high. If we see the sector hold strong, if we see these small cap stocks perform well today. All right. So IMPP is another top stock I definitely want to be keeping on watch right out of the gate. And then I do want to watch CEI as well. Now CEI has room to pull back towards around 82 cents. Okay. So that's going to be one of the better levels of support. Right around 82 cents over on CEI. But again, we need to be mindful of that 200 SMA. So if we can regain, break and hold above and stay above that 200 SMA, right around 93 cents, we could absolutely see a pretty clean and simple re-break of $1 for the next leg up to those pre-market highs of 115. So again, ideally, holding above 93 cents shows strength, re-break into $1. I get excited. We have potential to 115. We cannot hold above this 93 cent level. We do know we have room to pull back down towards around 82 cents. Again, nothing out of the gate, no washout longs, no gap and goes, nothing that I want to really trade right out of the gate. I just want to see how these stocks hold on up. Or they get a rip out of the gate, they get a pull back and find support and then start reversing. Again, it's a game of patience. We know that these stocks have the best potential. It's all about just marking up your levels, doing your due diligence, getting prepared, and waiting for the opportunity to present itself. There's no reason to be long on CEI right now, guys. From a technical perspective, there's no reason to be long on IMPP. There's no reason to be long on INDO. But again, I definitely think these stocks have a lot of great opportunity today. Let's see if they set up, and if they do, let's make some money. All right. Now we do have some other stocks that are moving within that same sector. You know, energy, oil, gas stocks moving on up. You do have NINE that's gapping up and moving in pre-market. You do have HUSA gapping up and moving in pre-market, and you do have IO that's gapping up and moving in pre-market as well. Same thing with USWS. All right. So again, I would say that we need to keep these stocks on watch, but I think the best opportunity is going to be with INDO and IMPP. Why is that? Well, number one, that entire sector is performing well. These stocks are ripping and running. Number one, right? And that's the same thing with NINE. That's the same thing with HUSA, USWS, IO, right? But the other thing that I really want to point out that separates INDO and IMPP from a stock like NINE, from a stock like HUSA or even IO, is these three stocks that I just listed got their moves on Friday. IO, big green day on Friday. HUSA, big green day on Friday. NINE really started to get its move there on Friday. But look at INDO and IMPP. These stocks have been moving the most consistently for the past 2 weeks. So not only is that entire sector doing well, but these stocks are prior day movers as well. So we already know how to think about stocks, right? It's where the focus is, it's where the attention is, it's where traders are at. So not only do we have these other stocks like HUSA moving up, NINE, but we have some of these prior day movers as well. And traders like prior day movers. Why is that? They know the stock. They know how it moves, right? It's already on their watch. They already know exactly what to expect based on how it's moved that prior day. So that's why I would say INDO and IMPP have the best potential. Not only is that entire sector doing well, but they're also prior day movers that have momentum, that have focus, that have attention. And traders are still here looking at those top two stocks. And these have been the best couple of stocks for the past couple of weeks. fresh stocks that are just now moving as of Friday and today, those are going to be like NINE, HUSA, IO. Can these stocks do well today? Absolutely. Again, I don't know if it's going to be INDO that's the best stock of the day. I don't know if it's going to be IO. I don't know if it's going to be HUSA. No one really knows what stock is going to start ripping and running, but we have them on watch, right? We know exactly what to expect. We know why they're moving. If we start to see these stocks hitting high today momentum scanners, breakout scanners, and this is where traders go, we're already prepared, ready to rock. But I would say with 80% confidence that if traders are going to pick one of these 6 stocks, right, they would definitely go pick INDO or INPP for the simple fact it's already on everybody's radar, and this is the stock, or these are stocks that have been moving consistently for the past couple of weeks. That's why I'm watching INDO out of the gate, INPP out of the gate, right, as my top 2 stocks. Now, I am watching CEI. I wouldn't really say right out of the gate, but it's definitely a stock I want to keep on watch, right? NINE, I don't know if it's a stock that I'm watching right out of the gate, but it's definitely a stock I want to keep on watch. If NINE can start re-breaking $2.80, we have some support from pre-market, turns into resistance. If we can see some buyers move back in and see some strength back above 280, we definitely have potential to 350, $4. And man, I mean, technically we could see it all the way back up to $5. But again, it's definitely not a top stock I want to be watching right at 930. But it is a stock that I want to do some due diligence on and get prepared to a certain extent to where if we do start to see the stock moving on up, we're already prepared. We already know exactly our levels, what we need to see to get involved. So NINE is a back burner stock that we will be watching, and who knows? Maybe out of the gate, it turns into a top stock that we're watching for the rest of the day. But right now, 9:15 a.m., 15 minutes before the market opens, I would say that's going to be a back burner stock that we should keep on watch. Same thing with HUSA, number 2 on the leaderboard, trading phenomenal volume. Low float stock, currently up 76%. This stock has a lot of great potential today. But again, I think INDO and INPP could be where traders decide to go because those have already been moving the past couple of weeks, right? Consistently, big time rips and runs. HUSA finally just started to get its big time rip and run. And really all that took place here in pre-market from around $2 all the way to $5.79, pulling all the way back down towards around $3.11 support. So we do have $3.11 support on HUSA. We start cracking below that $3.11 support level. We do have room to fall back down towards around $2.76. And it's very clear where resistance is at. So we have a lot of resistance right there around 4. We are going to have some resistance up towards around 450. And then just look at these prior highs. $5, $5.13, $5.30, all the way up to that pre-market high of $5.79. So HUSA is definitely a top stock we should be watching. It is leading the board. It's up 77%. It's trading very high relative volume, and it's a low float stock as well within the energy sector. So I would say if we had to pick one stock out of this list to add it to our top 3 to 5 stocks that we'll be watching out of the gate, I would say HUSA is probably the best candidate to be watching right out of the gate as well with INDO and INPP. All right, guys. So again, that's HUSA as far as what we're looking at. And again, we know why it's moving, and we know it's leading the board with volume, and it's gapping up the most. CEI, we've already discussed that. NINE, we've already discussed that. We got USWS that we will be watching today above 172. So we see this open and pull back into Friday's high, right around Friday's high and close of 172. We could start to see a pretty nice bounce on back up on USWS, and we do have potential to 228 pre-market highs. We will be watching USWS today. Same thing with IO. We will be watching IO above Friday's high. So Friday's high was 94 cents. Friday's close was 80 cents. We will be looking for support on IO back down towards around Friday's high of 94 cents. If we crack below that level, we could see IO pull back towards around 80 cents. Breaking and holding above $1, we could start to really see some volume step back into this stock. And I would say back up towards around 114, 125, psychological resistance, and then back up to this pre-market resistance right around 144 to 150 on IO. MXC is another stock that we should be watching. It was leading the board. I mean, this stock had a huge day on Friday from $14 to $26.55. Nice gap up to $35.50 here in pre-market. Mexico Energy, ticker MXC. We do have support back down towards around $23. So again, if we see this stock hold above 23 and the overall sector stays intact and there's still strength and we see that overall sector performing well, moving to the upside, we could absolutely see MXC have another nice green day as well. Support right now is going to be back down around $23 on MXC. And again, right now, because there's a lot of stocks on the watch list, it's going to the back burner, right? I don't want you guys having your head on a swivel, 10 to 15 different stocks, but I have to have these stocks on watch, and I have to be mindful of what they're doing, because MXC very well could be the top stock of the day. And if we come to find out it is the top stock of the day, we'll put our focus here on this stock, and we won't really be too concerned about anything else. So again, it's all about eliminating the noise, cleaning up your watch list, and having like 3 to 5 stocks on watch. The last thing I want you guys doing is having 20 stocks on watch. I have them on watch just in case they start moving on up, so I can bring them to your attention. But your guys' job is to eliminate the noise, dissect these stocks, and really focus on which ones you think have the best potential out of this list. So we will be watching MXC. Again, solid day there. On Friday, we're watching OXY, Occidental Petroleum. This stock had a very good week last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Again, last week, we went from a low of 38 all the way to 56.15, gapping up, hitting pre-market highs of 63.94. So again, right now with OXY, support's going to be back down towards around Friday's highs and Friday's close, between 56.15 and some of these highs at 56.38. So again, we're simply looking for OXY to find support off that prior level of resistance. And if it sets up, we do have some great potential on OXY today as well. And then we definitely need to be watching USO, right? United States Oil, this is an ETF, right? That tracks oil, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that, all right? I'm a little under the weather today, as you guys can see. But again, USO, we're starting to roll on over, and then we're starting to see everything else roll on over as well. So we do just need to be mindful of USO to see how this does, right? So United States Oil, USO, from 85.89 down towards around 79.37 right now at this point in time. We start to see this moving back up and having another good day, then we're going to see all of these other stocks that we just talked about have a good day as well. If this continues to fade and fall and we're having a pretty nasty day today, don't expect a lot of these other stocks to really set up to the long side. We just need to shift our attention at that point in time. So again, if we don't really have a great watch list, if we see USO just dump, fade, and fall and nothing's happening, we're not really going to have a lot of great long opportunity with INDO, INPP, HUSA. We'll probably see these stocks fade and fall as well, obviously, right? So how do we shift our attention at that point in time? Well, we can absolutely go look at, the SPY and the Qs, right? I'm still watching the SPY and the Qs today. And depending on what we do today and tomorrow, you may see me entering some multi-month puts on the SPY and the Qs, determining, depending on what we do today and how we look today. So right now, we do have this small little gap to fill on the SPY, and that gap is from Thursday into Friday. So we see we closed on Thursday right around 435.65, and we had a pretty decent gap down into the 431s. So right now, we are trying to break above some of these Friday levels, right? We're trying to break above the open right now. We're trying to break above the close at 432.21. So we are attempting to break above some of these Friday levels. The next level that I see being the best level of resistance is going to be Thursday's close, which would be filling this daily gap. And it's also placing us right back at the downtrend resistance. So honestly, I'd like to see the SPY come up, close the gap, fill it, hit that level of resistance, and that level of resistance lines up with a few other points as well in the past, right? We had our low of day on February 14th, right at that price. We had a high of day from February 22nd, right at that price. And it was also the close from Thursday, and it's also a gap fill. So again, wanting to see the SPY really try and break some of these levels, move back up towards around 435.65, tag that price, right, as prior support, as new resistance, fill the gap. It's also the downtrend. I'd like to see the SPY start rolling back over today or tomorrow. And if we see that confirmation and we see this set up the way we want to see it set up, and it's still inside of this big falling channel on the daily, I am looking to take this back down towards around these prior lows, maybe like 420, 410. And if we actually stay inside of this falling channel, coming back down to the lower end of this trend line support, which could put us all the way back down in the low 400s. So again, depending on what we do today, tomorrow, how we're looking, how the technicals are setting up, I will be looking to enter possibly some 30 to 45 day puts, and I'm looking to swing trade those. All right. The Qs, kind of the same thing with the Qs. We're starting to break back above some of Friday's levels, but we still are in this big falling channel here on the Qs, right? So the Qs right now, we could see this back up towards around 342.22, which is filling that really teeny gap from Thursday to Friday. But it's also putting us back up at some prior support levels as new resistance. Also right around its downtrend from the daily chart as well. So again, I'm looking to see if we have some selling pressure move in, if we have a lot of resistance right around that 342.22 on the Qs. And kind of the same thing with the, on the SPY. If we see that resistance set in and we see sellers start to move back in and we are looking bearish from a technical perspective, I'm definitely looking to short the SPY, and I would definitely consider shorting the Qs as well. And as we know, if we ever have any good short opportunities on the SPY and the Qs, what can we do as well from an equity side of things, right? We could look to go long on UVXY, right? An inverse ETF, whether that's, UVXY, whether that's, man, I'm just losing my train of thought right now. VXX, right? VXX. And then what is the other one? SPXS, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this sickness is really putting a damper on my mindset right now. But again, you guys know the drill. We've been talking about this for weeks, if not months, right? So when we see good short opportunities on the SPY and the Qs, right? Obviously, we can go look to take puts and make money on the option side of things. But we know that when the VIX is very, very high, spreads can become wacky. The premiums are inflated. They're more expensive. And a lot of you guys have been going and buying calls on UVXY or taking the equity side on UVXY. So not only would I be considering puts on the SPY and the Qs going a month and a half out, if we see those technicals respected and validated and we get the signal for those shorts, I would absolutely be looking to take UVXY or maybe another inverse ETF to the long side as well, okay? We do have BBBY. BBBY is one of these stocks that are just going to do what it's going to do, right? Really no correlation with the overall market, especially in pre-market. We'll see how the stock holds on up. BBBY this morning issued a press release. GameStop's chair discloses over a, not a 50% stake, but BBBY shooting up over 50%, currently up 90% right now on BBBY. GameStop's chair discloses an equity stake in the company. So we see BBBY doing very well right now at this point in time. So we'll have to see how the stock holds on up, right? This stock is again from 16.18 all the way up to $30. It's up 80%, guys. It's trading phenomenal volume, but that's a huge gap up. If you were in BBBY and you were up, 100% almost, what would you do? You would probably lock in some profits, right? Definitely lock in profits. So I'd expect to see a little bit of a washout on BBBY. And if we still do have some demand and some interest from buyers and traders, we could absolutely see this hold above 28.70 support, back up towards around $35 pre-market highs. So I am absolutely watching BBBY out of the gate as well, assuming we don't have any action on INDO, IMPP, HUSA, or any of these other small cap penny stocks. I will be putting a lot of focus here on BBBY out of the gate to see if we do indeed get that washout back down to support, because again, we'll probably see some profit taking for a nice little bounce on up and a nice push back into those pre-market highs of 35.14, all right? A list of inverse leveraged oil, gas, energy ETFs. So you need to just put these stocks on watch. We're not going to talk too much about these ETFs right now, but just know that these stocks I'm getting ready to list off are leveraged inverse ETFs, oil, gas, energy, SCO. If we see oil fade and fall today, if we see these small cap penny stocks not do anything and we see a red day and a pullback, we could absolutely see these leveraged inverse ETFs move on up. And that's what we're seeing right now. SCO is a very popular inverse ETF in that sector, energy, gas, oil. You have KOLD, you have DRIP, you have DUG, but DUG is doing nothing. So honestly, it's really not worth your time. And then you have ERY. Again, ERY up about 30 cents. DRIP up about 20 cents. But look at KOLD, for example. KOLD up about $1.60. SCO up about 60 cents. Those are going to be the top two that we watch. So USO dumping, red day, pulling back. We could absolutely look to go long on some of these leveraged inverse ETFs. That's going to be DRIP, KOLD, and SCO. Okay, guys? So just have those on your watch list. We may shift. If we do not see a green day and we see a lot of these stocks that we're currently watching pull on back and have a little bit of a red day, we could absolutely look to go long on some of these leveraged inverse ETFs, and that would be a shift, right? We're prepared. We have a great watch list for small cap penny stocks. We have a great watch list for options, right? We have BBBY, we have UVXY, the SPY, and the Qs. And assuming that we don't see these small cap penny stocks have a green day and we're not looking to go long because that sector is falling, we have these inverse ETFs that we could look to take long as well, and we're not missing any opportunity, guys. Okay, so let's do this. What stock do you think is going to do the best today? Let me go ahead and cast that poll real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to see what you guys are thinking on what stock do you think is going to do the best today. Do you think it's going to be INDO? Do you think it's going to be IMPP? Do you think it's going to be BBBY? Do you think it's going to be the SPY and the Q, SPY/QQQ? Or do you think it's going to be an inverse ETF, INVERSE ETF against the energy sector, I can't even type that up. But again, inverse ETF. So go ahead and cast your votes, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe if we can cast those votes. Boom! Go ahead and cast your votes, ladies and gentlemen. What stock do you think is going to do the best today? Do you think it's going to be INDO, IMPP, BBBY, the SPY and the Qs? Maybe it's an inverse ETF, right? Maybe it's UVXY to the long side if the SPY and the Qs start dropping on off, right? Maybe it's an inverse ETF like KOLD or SCO. What stock do you guys think is going to do the best today? Go ahead and cast those votes. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Markets open. We're all set, ready to rock and roll. Sit back on your hands. Be patient. Don't just jump into a trade. Don't just jump into a stock because it's moving. Wait for the best of the best opportunity. Again, Thursday and Friday, a lot of our great trades were coming at 10 o'clock, right? I did not trade INDO the first 30 minutes of the day on Friday, but I still locked in $700, right? So you don't have to be the first one in and the first one looking to make money. It's all about what you walk away with at the end of the day. So if you don't get your trade until 11 o'clock, 10:30, it doesn't matter. You're still getting your trade. You're still locking in some great profits. So just because the stock's moving doesn't mean you have to jump on in right out of the gate. But I am going to be watching out of the gate. I'm just going to be watching BBBY to see what we do here. We got that nice little washout long. And I took it for a quick washout long, and I was taking profits really quick, but it just dropped on off even quicker. So I did just take a small little loss on BBBY. I took it right at that 28.70. I got a fill. It popped up about 20 cents. I took half, but the other half of my position, it dropped off about 50 cents, just like that. So I was looking at that washout long, followed by that bounce on up. We didn't get it. And again, I took a small little loss there. Good morning, good morning. We are here and we are making it happen, guys. Nah, it's not FOMO, guys. I know you're messing with me, not FOMO. You guys know me, I don't deal with FOMO at all. I deal with greed sometimes, right? As a trader, I still mess up. I deal with greed more than I ever deal with FOMO. I never buy at the top. I never FOMO into a trade. It was a nice washout long right into that 28.70. You saw it bounce on up, so I took a quick trade looking for that quick scalp. It just didn't bounce on up, so went ahead and cut it quick and sitting back waiting for the next best opportunity. So again, the top three stocks that we were watching out of the gate that we had identified was HUSA, IMPP, and INDO. But again, right now at this point in time, there's nothing that we should be really jumping on in on, right, at this point in time. I'm going to throw USO off to the side here. And obviously, if we see USO having a strong green day, we're going to see stocks like INDO, IMPP, HUSA, CEI. These stocks should have a good green day as well. So you do have USO starting to pop on up here back above 80. And we're starting to kind of see the same thing, right? The first couple of candles pulling back. Now we're starting to see a nice little pop here on USO. We're starting to see a nice little pop here on INDO, IMPP. and HUSA as well. So you just need to be mindful of what, just take a peek at USO and see what that's doing. All right, what'd you guys vote on? So we have 33% of chat saying INDO would be the #1 stock of the day. So you tell me, what are you guys looking at? What stocks do you think are going to be the best? Do you think it's all INDO, like I think it is? I mean, this stock has just a lot of potential. I say we just focus on one stock. What one stock do you think we should just throw up on the live stream? Do you think we should just focus on INDO? Do you think we should simply just go focus on INPP, which is now currently halted? Or do you think we should watch HUSA? What stock do you think we should really put our focus on right now at this point in time? I'll let you guys decide. I'm coming down with a head cold. I don't know, right? I know the technicals. I know why stocks are moving, but what stocks do you think we should watch? 150 on HUSA. Good job, Catherine, coming in, locking in those quick profits. Way to make it happen out of the gate. You got INDO looking for a halt to the upside as well, guys. So INDO, right now at this point in time, looking like we could be getting halted here in the next couple of seconds. So now you got INDO halted to the upside, guys. So we got a couple halts right out of the gate. INDO, INPP. We know how the trade halts, right? So I'd be looking for a halt strategy on INPP. So again, we halted right at 504. We know we have psychological support at 5. So if we can see INPP gap up, I would say 10 to 15 cents, right? This stock open out of the halt, maybe right around 515 to 520. We see some initial profit taking and it slams back down towards around 5 to 504. I would be looking to catch that dip for the next leg on up with INPP. We know we have room up into these highs. I would say right around 572 would be a level that we should lock in some profits. I know the pre-market high was 588, but look at how many times we hit 572. 1, 2, 3 times. We hit 588 once. We hit 572 3 times. I'm looking to lock in profits at 572. And if it does break over 572, right, it would be 588. But I'm already ready to lock in some potential profits right around that 572 level. So right now, INPP for the possible halt strategy for that next rip and run on up. And then, kind of the same thing with INDO, right? So INDO halted right at, come on, remove the drawing, TD, boom, 52.13. So again, nice little potential halt strategy on INDO, but honestly, from a technical perspective, really looking at the potential halt strategy that we may have, I like INPP the most because not only do we have the halt level that could hold on up as a level of support, you're right at $5 psychological support as well on INPP. So if I had a choice between INPP and INDO for the halt strategy, I would choose INPP. INPP was halted at 934.48. We'll be live at 939.48. Again, we want to see this gap up at least, I would say 10 to 15 cents minimum. So we're looking for this to open up around, 515 to 520. See a lot of profit taking initially, slam back down towards around 5 to that 504. Looking for a dip buy, looking for the next leg on up. Maybe this is a nice little one and done trade. So again, we will be live at 9:39:48. So we have about 1 more minute to go here on INPP. And right now I have bids at 505, 515, 530. It's all over the place with INPP. We have about 30 seconds to go here. I know there's a lot of stocks moving. There's a lot of potential, guys, right? You're kind of like the head's on a swivel. Like, is it MXC, OXY? What is it? NINE, CEI? What stock should I be trading, right? Just focus on 1 or 2 stocks that have good action, right? And we can see clearly right now, we have INPP and INDO halted to the upside. This is where I would say 80% of the focus is in the market. And we knew that coming into the day that a lot of traders are going to go back to these prior day movers that are still moving within the sector, a lot of the sector sympathy, right? But again, they are prior day movers, and we knew that these stocks had the best potential to be the top gainers of the day. So right now, INPP doesn't look like it will be gapping up, guys. We should be live in 3, 2, 1, live. INPP live. I did not get my fill, guys. I did not get the fill off the halt level. I'm canceling my orders. I did not get filled at 504 or $5. Came right down to the, came down to 505, that's why. Came down to 505. I had 5 to 504 limit orders set in the system for that halt strategy, and I completely missed the fill. So I did not get filled, and I'm not looking to take that trade right now. How's INDO? Is INDO live yet? INDO will be live at 9:40:54. So you got about 15 more seconds here on INDO. So 10 more seconds on INDO before we go live. On ticker INDO, maybe we can catch a quick little halt strategy on INDO. Nope, we didn't get a gap up, so I'm not touching it. We did not get that gap up out of the halt. Just a little too risky in my opinion. So not touching that one right now on INDO. We did not get that gap up like we saw with INPP. So INPP, we had that beautiful 10 to 15 cent gap up, and it came down pretty darn close, right? We were about a penny away from that halt strategy fill. I missed that though. So right now, I'm not planning on going long on INDO, not planning on going long on INPP, HUSA, again, CEI, not really looking to go long on any of these at this point in time. Just looking to see how they settle on down, or how they, if they settle down and start setting back up for us. INDO halted to the downside, INPP halted to the downside, HUSA still getting hit pretty decent here. CEI getting hit decently as well. NINE below support. USWS still just taking a peek at that one. IO kind of curling on over as well. MXC. You know, I definitely want to watch MXC. This one had a pretty nice big green day there on Friday. We do have support down back at 23 on MXC. OXY has some support around 56. Again, we see that nice little move on up, and then we're starting to kind of pull back a little bit with USO, and that's kind of what we see across the board, right? Some initial red, green, right? And then we're starting to pull on back, and we can kind of see that. We had, you know, a quick little pullback on USO. We shot on up. Now we're pulling back again, and we can kind of see that across the board, right? Open up a little red, nice big squeeze to the upside. Now we're starting to see, you know, like INDO, INPP, really across the board, everything's starting to pull on back here. How's the SPY looking? The SPY, we're definitely probably getting ready for some puts, guys. The Qs, same thing. Is MXC halted to the downside? Wow, that was weird. That literally just got halted. But yeah, so MXC is now, yep, halted to the downside. OXY is sitting right at its level of support here on OXY. Halt level on OXY is down at 54.55. I'm not looking to go long on OXY here. If we would have saw USO start to bounce on up here, back up towards around 81, I would have considered a quick long on OXY, but I just want to make sure that I'm not jumping on into one of these stocks for a long, and we just see, oil in that sector continue to pull back a little bit here. Again, I'm just being very, very patient, and I'm just waiting for the best of the best opportunity. Like I said, I'm not eager to jump into a trade right now. I want to make sure it's the best setup and it's the best opportunity. One and done, right? We're only 15 minutes into the day, guys. We will find opportunity. Again, Friday, I wasn't really getting a trade on INDO until about like 10:15. Same thing Thursday. I don't really think I had any trades up until about 10 to 10:30, even on Thursday. I did have one trade this morning on BBBY, looking for that washout long, for that bounce on back up. Never got it. Small little loss. But again, as far as any new positions, I'm still just waiting and sitting back looking for the best of the best opportunity, guys. This is the toughest part is patience, right? This is the hardest part of trading, is the patience aspect. Identifying what stocks have the best opportunity, what stocks have the best potential, and sitting back and waiting for that opportunity to really just present itself and slap you in the face, saying, hey, I'm a good trade, take me. And right now I'm very tempted, right? I'm very tempted to get long on OXY. But I still want to just sit back and see how this holds on up in comparison to the overall sector. So Steve said, phone's ringing. It's grandma. Grandma saying, hey, what's up with this HUSA stock? Don't trade it. When grandma calls you, don't trade it. When grandma calls you asking about a stock, you already know it's too late. So I'm just cleaning up the watch list right now. I still want to watch MXC. Still absolutely want to watch OXY. But some of these other stocks like NINE, I want to go ahead and take those off watch. Just kind of clean it up. We have good opportunity on CEI. We have some good opportunity on HUSA, IMPP, and INDO. I know these are halted to the downside, but these can absolutely start to set back up for us. So I'm just cleaning up the watch list with a lot of these stocks that really aren't doing too much, just to eliminate the noise and have a very small, tight watch list of stocks that we're really just focused on. Is INDO live? INDO is live, and INDO is pulling all the way back into Friday's close. Friday's close was $40.76. So that's going to be a decent little level of support there for INDO. And you got some support on IMPP down towards around 431. CEI has its support level right there around that 200 SMA at 93 cents. MXC is now live, bouncing off the gap down. That's what I'm talking about. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, traders on YouTube, thank you guys for your understanding with me being a little under the weather today, a little bit of a head cold. I don't know what it is, so I'm not as like hyped up. Very just calm today, very just kind of laid back. And again, I know a lot of you guys were getting some HUSA out of the gate, trading some IMPP. Again, I decided to trade BBBY for the washout long for the nice bounce on up. And I know there's been some opportunity, but that opportunity came and went really quick, right? We had some quick opportunity on INDO. A lot of you guys inside of chat were taking that. Some of you guys were taking IMPP for that nice red to green move. So good job if you guys were getting some quick early morning trades. Good job, good work. For me, I'm still just sitting back being patient, guys. I know that's not what you want to see, right? You want to see me just grinding out. You want to see me locking in some big time profits. But again, if we don't have that best of the best opportunity, I'm not going to sit here and just force a trade to put a trade on. If we see great opportunity out of the gate, of course I'm going to take it. Of course I'm going to alert that. Of course I'm going to trade that with you guys. But I'm not just going to put on a trade just to put a trade on for you guys to follow me into it and not be the best of the best trade. So again, I know you guys want to come in and get those quick wins, and my goal in the mornings is to find those opportunities to help you guys get those quick wins, but we can't expect those quick wins right out of the gate every single day, right? Every now and then we get it. When we get it, you guys are locking in some great profits. When we don't, you're really learning how to be patient and disciplined and how to sit back and wait for the best of the best opportunity. And that was really today, right? This morning, first 20 minutes, again, really just sitting back, waiting for the best of the best opportunity. No clean A+ setups to really call out for those quick wins, but there's tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And guess what Wednesday is? It's our free stream Wednesday. So I know we will find those opportunities. I know we will get those quick wins. We have all day Wednesday with you guys as well. Just remember to trade smart and trade safe. Don't just trade a stock because it's moving. Wait for the best of the best opportunity. Wait for those A+ setups. Attack them, lock in your profits, be disciplined, stay consistent. It's all about those base hits, baby. All right, you guys know exactly what stocks we're watching for today and why we're watching them. We know how to shift on over to other sectors and other stocks just in case these set stocks don't really hold on up today. We know that there's a lot of opportunity in the market. You guys are prepared to attack and to identify where that opportunity is. So be smart, trade safe, keep locking in those profits, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning right at 9 o'clock. But right now, team, it's me and you. It's all about that one great trade, right, team? It's one great trade. I want to find that one great trade. That's it. If that comes at 10 o'clock, shoot, it comes at 10 o'clock. If it comes this afternoon at 2:33, 4, hey, shoot, it comes at 2:33, 3:30, right? I'm not here forcing trades. I'm waiting for the best opportunity. And sometimes the best opportunity comes a little bit later in the day. I would say right now, the number one stock that looks the most appealing for a reversal is going to be OXY. So right now, OXY looks to be the best. And this is the number one stock that I want to put a lot of focus on right now is going to be OXY. Possible reversal here, nice little double bottom off support. And support is Friday's resistance right around 56.38. And we can see that we're bouncing around down here. We're starting to get this nice higher low reversal. OXY is my number one watch at this point in time. INPP halts again to the upside. So again, team, you know, we got a couple halts on INPP, but just looking at it, where are you getting in? You were getting in here for that red to green move, but since then, where are you really getting in confidently? Low risk, high reward, A+ setup. INPP, yeah, it's halted to the upside, but looking back in hindsight, really not the best opportunity, right? The best one was for that quick red to green move. And we saw that across the board. Very ugly red to green move on INDO, but INPP was really nice. You saw the same thing with HUSA, but right now, I'm putting my focus on OXY. I think OXY has some of the best potential. BBBY still fading and falling. I'm still looking for the best of the best entries and opportunities on the SPY and the Qs, and maybe that dictates me getting long on UVXY. But again, I like to kind of wait that first 15 to 30 minutes and really just try and get an idea of where the broader market's going. Let some of that volatility kind of just move on out of the market to a certain extent, and really wait for things to clean on up and get a clear sense of direction before entering any kind of trades on the SPY and the Qs. But right now, still watching the SPY and the Qs off to the side. I mean, clean downtrend. We're trying to find some support down here. We could see it bounce back up a couple points. So I'm not yet ready to take any kind of entries on the SPY or the Qs yet. So that was a beautiful reversal on OXY. And as you guys can tell, I'm a little hesitant today, right? And I've understood that coming into the market. We have to assess where we are mindset-wise. Are we focused? Are we cloudy? You know, what are some things that could dictate our success, whether good or bad? And one thing with me is the head cold, feeling a little foggy, not just clear, not as focused as I normally am, right? So I have hesitated quite a bit. You know, OXY is a trade I take all day, every day. I have an order typed up, finger on the trigger, and I just hesitate for some reason. And I think I'm hesitating because, again, I'm just not 100% in the zone and focused, feeling a little out of it today. So you may not really see me really getting aggressive and jumping into all of these trades left and right, because again, I just feel like my confidence has gone from here just down a little bit based on, you know, how I felt waking up today. So, but that's what, you know, disciplined traders do. They come in and they really understand how they feel. Are they in the right mindset? Are they in the right mood? Are they clear? Are they focused? If not, you have to understand that, and you have to be able to make decisions around that. And my decision is, I'm more than happy to not trade today. Right? I'm more than happy to sit on the sidelines until I see just the exceptional setup, right? And really making sure that I'm getting into the one great trade to make those profits today. But for now, I think I'm just going to sit on my hands and just kind of sit back and relax and wait. One of my top stocks is OXY. I want to see this retrace and pull back here a little bit. And I missed my entry off 56.38. I mean, higher low reversal. I mean, that was a beautiful setup. We talked about it. We called it. It ripped up beautifully. I mean, again, right now it's up about $1.50 a share from that reversal. That was a clean and clear setup. And I just hesitated. That's it. I hesitated. I had a plan and everything. Position size, plan, targets, and I just simply hesitated. That's it. Corey saying, I felt that way Friday and probably should have pulled it back a little bit more. Smart move on recognizing that. And that's one of the hardest things to do, is recognizing that, guys. It really is. That is like one of the hardest things to do, is to be able to come in and be aware of that and recognize it and make a good decision around it. And I can't tell you how many times I've come in and I'm like, screw it, I'm going to trade today. And I take big losses and I'm like, man, I saw that coming. I could have definitely scaled back. I could have definitely sat on the sidelines. And it happens, man. We're human, right? We're all human. No one's perfect. We're going to have days that we come in and we're out of it. We're just not in the zone. We're not feeling it. Why put your money at risk, right? It's just one day. It's one day of sitting out. Big deal. Could you miss a lot of opportunities? Absolutely. But are you preventing taking unnecessary losses? Yeah, absolutely. So you have to be able to recognize that and make a good decision around it. And it sucks how to make those decisions. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to trade, right? There's opportunity in the market. There's some big time movers. But again, I want to make sure that I'm fully aware, focused, confident, and make sure that I'm not second guessing myself or doubting myself, which I kind of have a couple trades, right? There's been a couple good trades. I hesitated on IMPP. I hesitated on OXY here. Yeah, so across the board, I'm going to sit back and just chill. Yeah, so I did notice that, Kids King, that there were some dead lessons in the video lessons library that says that they cannot be watched. I have to go through and see what's going on. So they're really old lessons. They're nothing new that we've done. So they're really like 2-year-old lessons. And we have fresh lessons that we've done here in 2021, 2022 that offset those lessons. But yeah, I got to go kind of dive in and see what's going on there with those lessons and see if I can get that fixed. If not, we'll just go through and rock those lessons and do refreshment lessons on those.